Good evening, GZL. This is Mike Goodman, and I'm the GM of the San Diego Chargers. I wanted to take this time to go over my last week's game against the Raiders and preview next week's game against the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl champs. It was a wild and crazy game, San Diego. I mean, I think on offense we did what we wanted to do. Defense, we put a lot of pressure on Landry Jones, but he actually played very well. As we were hoping to get a turnover or two out of him, to be honest, but we kept the pressure on. And I think for the most part, the defense played good, other than the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. So the Chargers won 30-24. Both teams had pretty big fourth quarters, 10-10 at the half. Chargers had a field goal in the third quarter, and then offensive explosion for both teams in the fourth quarter. Raiders getting 14, the Chargers getting 17. So what did it mean? It means it's a big win. It was obviously a must-win for the Chargers. We were dead last. To be able to stay within the playoffs grasp, so to speak, it was a must-win, being 6-6. Currently, we're 7-6, a game behind the Kansas City Chiefs at 8-5. So, still plenty of work to do. Obviously, doesn't get any easier coming up. So, just to point out some stats of this Chargers 30-24 win. One thing that we really wanted to focus on in this week is the Oakland Raiders can put up a lot of points. So we wanted more of a ball control offense. Run the ball, pound it, and hopefully, in one of them runs that you would get one of them home run type of speak of runs, and actually we did in the fourth quarter. Ryan Matthews, it was I believe 3rd and short or 3rd and 1. And the run was designed to go on the inside, and he was running it inside. He bounced it to the outside and ran a long touchdown run. So it was a big run. So on the day, the Chargers had 209 yards rushing, and we held the Raiders to 91. And I think that was key because we really thought coming into this football game, the Raiders would try to run the football. And, so our defense against the run, if you look at the season stats, really, isn't very good. So we really thought that they would try to run it very heavy and run it often, and it was nice. They did get 91 yards, but overall, I think the defense played very well. And another key to stopping run is you're not giving up any rushing touchdowns. So 91 yards for the Raiders, 209 for the Chargers. Passing yards, I'm not really going to go into that. I mean, Landry Jones had an outstanding game. He was 16 out of 23, complete 70% of his passes. Gabbert was 19-32, about 60. 60%. The yards were about the same. Landry had 3 touchdowns. Gabbert had 2. Total offense for the Raiders was 330. Total yards for the San Diego Chargers, 427. Neither team had any turnovers, and then the time of possession, which is the thing that the going into this football game, I thought that the San Diego Chargers would have to win this battle to be able to win the football game. The Chargers had 29 minutes of offense. The Raiders had 18 minutes. So with all that being said, I'm just going to touch on, like I've already talked about, Landry Jones, 16-23, 249, 3 touchdowns, QB rating of 144.7. Gabbert, had a couple touchdowns, 224. Matthews was the highlight of the Chargers offense, 26 carries, 136 yards. Both defenses, I thought, for the most part, played good. Looked like we were getting tons of pressure on him. We didn't get the sacks that we wanted. We only sacked him. Got 3 sacks coming by Fletcher Cox, Julian Warfield, and Benjamin Goodson. Key thing in here, we started a rookie, Kenny Logan. He had 3 tackles and 1 for a loss. So I've been saying this all year. This guy comes in, he just makes plays. So I wanted to get him in there and see what he could do in the big game. And this was a big game. The crowd was We had Fan Appreciation Day. The crowd was outstanding. And I give a lot of credit to the Raiders. You know, they made a push late in the fourth quarter, but they came up short. So what does that mean with a Raiders loss and a San Diego win? Well, as you can see, the Chiefs are 8-5 on the year. Right behind them is the San Diego Chargers, 7-6. Raiders are 7-6. Broncos are 7-6. It was a big win also for the Chiefs because that means we beat the Raiders twice this year. So if there's any sort of tiebreaker, we got that. You know, we got the advantage over him. So it was never going to be an easy game. Without a doubt, we never thought it was going to be easy. It came down to the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, and the Chargers were able to make enough plays this game. So moving on, now that we talk about them, is we're going to go start to scout a little bit of the Seahawks. Seahawks, Super Bowl champions, come to San Diego next week. Very good, regardless of what their records say. This is a very good football team. They're on a roll, to say the least, and first thing I've been looking over is their defense. Defense is, giving up 250 yards of passing and 100 yards rushing. That's actually pretty good, I think. You look at the third down percent, opponents are only getting 38% third down percent, so there's a lot of 3-and-outs going on when you play the Seattle Seahawks. 36 red zone attempts. They've only gave up 13 touchdowns and a lot of 18 field goals. So, it's a very tough group. There's a lot of experience, and there's a lot of speed, and there's a lot of guys that know how to get after you on defense for Seattle Seahawks. So, it's going to be tough, as you can see. The opponent's passer rating against the Seahawks is a 74.74 rating, QB rating. So 18 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. So, it's going back to that. We're not going to be able to turn the football over. It's going to be crucial, that we do not turn the football over. And, they can score. You turn it over, they're going to get you. They're going to score points right back on you. Their defense has scored 2 touchdowns this year. Their offense, looks like they favor the pass just a little bit, but their rushing is very good as well. 38% on third down converting. I think that's going to be a key. Can we keep them? Can the defense of the Chargers get off the field 3-and-outs? How many times can we win the 3-and-out war? I think if we don't win that aspect, it's going to be hard to beat this team. In the red zone, they're 83%, 36 attempts, 17 touchdowns, and 13 field goals. So penalties, they got 38 penalties on the year on the offense, 39 on the defense. So when I look at this game, I haven't really started game plan against it, but looks like they favor the pass just a little bit, but they can run the football when they need to. And the defense is very stout. I've looked over this team, scouted some of their players a little bit. Haven't really put together a game plan yet, but I can tell you they got their front 7 is terrific football players. It's one of those games where it's going to be, who's got the ball last in the fourth quarter, and what we got to win the turnover battle, and B, can we keep converting on this hard to convert defense on third down, keep drives going, put some points on the board, and can we stop them and get them on 3-and-outs and get it back into our offense's hands? So the matchups on the website, overall record goes advantage is the San Diego Chargers 7-6. Points scored averaging per game goes to the Seahawks, average 25.3 points per game. Total offense, San Diego Charger gets the marks at 351 yards a game. Passing offense, the Chargers get a nod, but it's really close at 232 yards a game. Rushing offense, once again, it's very close, but the Chargers get the edge at 119.1 yards per game. On the defense, the Chargers get the advantage. They're only giving up 20.5 points a game. That's sixth best in the league. Seattle's at 23 points per game. Total defense, San Diego is about 30 yards better than Seattle statistically this year, which is fourth best in the league. Passing defense, the Chargers ranked third in the league in passing defense, and the Seattle Seahawks ranked 22nd in the league. Rush defense is obviously the Seattle Seahawks got the advantage there. They're got the ninth best in the league. And the turnover battles. This is, I think, the stat that's going to show who's going to win this football game. Who is going to turn the football over, and who's going to capitalize. So if you look over here, we're both tied at 6. So I think it's very crucial. I look at the so-called rush defense per game and notice, the pass defense and see that they're 22nd in the league. But I don't think that tells the whole story because, I've looked over that little roster. Not that little roster, sorry, but I looked over the roster, and their front seven are very good 3-4 front seven. Outstanding front seven. So Blaine Gabber's going to have to make great decisions. If we're going to be passing the football, we need to be converting those third downs, moving it on, converting, keep that defense onto the field, keep our defense, on the sideline. That would be optimistic. And we can't turn the football over. This is a pretty closely evenly matched matchup. And one thing I think is going to be the key is it going to be who's going to win the football turnover battles. So, well, that's it from team news for the San Diego Chargers this week, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks. Bye.